Hey guys, welcome back to the Spiritual Safe House. My name is Laura, and I'm just gonna wait just a second to let some people hop on here, okay? Um, uh, but tonight, just kind of slowly start here, but tonight we're gonna be talking about something a little bit different. Kind of generally the same message that I tried to give across to you guys, but in a different way, because I feel that I have been divinely called to talk about this. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about how we can be the light and what that means, and how we're already being told how important that is and how much we can prosper from just doing something as simple as that, as being the light for other people, and for ourselves as well. Okay, I think especially in the day and age that we are in, it can be really easy to get distracted by everything that is going on, and sometimes our lights can become kind of dim, and that's not healthy. Now, I'm not saying that it is easy in any way to, you know, this is what we work towards living a more constant life of love, and that isn't easy. Just think about somebody right now that maybe you're upset with, that you're mad at, somebody that could, that you could forgive for something, or maybe the opposite. If you're doing something kind of negative to somebody else, that maybe they should try to be forgiving you. All of these things, they dim our lights. And in the end, this is not what we're here on earth to do. We are here to, learn from all of our experiences, but we're not here to suffer. We're here to learn from that suffering and to come out stronger in the end and do whatever we can to help as many people as we can, including ourselves. So today I wanted to talk to you about, like I said, being the light, and I have some verses from the Bible that I'm going to read to you and talk to you a little bit about, because this is like telling us directly what to do and how we need to live our life, to be prosperous and have the things that, that we want in life. Not saying that we should be following the word just to get what we want, but doing these simple things. Some of them are simple, but by following the word, we, these things will come more naturally. Our fortunes and our manifestations, our abundance in our life will come more naturally. Okay, so the first verse that I want to talk to, and if you see me looking over, it's because I have written down the ones that I want to go over. So the first one that I want to go over is, they're all from the book of Matthew. Matthew 6:21. Okay, and I'm going to read this to you and then talk a little bit about each one. But Matthew 6:21 says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." So I feel like this is just telling us that if we find our passion, and if we find what is most important to us, what we can give most love to, then your heart will automatically follow. This doesn't have to be a struggle. So if you can, just find what makes your heart be the most happy, that's what you want to do in life. Okay, and by finding these things that you're passionate about and finding things that are most important to you, that make your life most abundant and most healthy, your heart will follow along right after that. So I think that one's really, really, really important to remember, because this also goes along with the law of attraction, that you want to show positive feelings and you want to show gratitude towards things. And by genuinely having these positive feelings, this love and faith, hello, thank you for joining, but by genuinely having these feelings of love and faith and gratitude, that's what's going to be drawn right back into your life, and that's what your heart will follow. So that's what this verse is really telling us, okay? So the next one that I want to go over, and this one is really big, I think, but it's from, once again, Matthew 6:22 through 23, okay? And I'm going to take a second just to read this to you, and then we'll go over. So Matthew 6:22 through 23. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? So what is this? I mean, it's just amazing to me, that, so this is saying if you are focused on one positive thing, whether that be love, your relationship with God or your higher power, self-development, if you're really positively focused on that, if you are really focused on helping other people, by being laser focused on these types of positive things, this is what is going to fully bring divine light into your entire being. And then also going back to the verse that I just read, that, your heart will follow through that. So, having this sense of being so focused on one thing that is related to love and to faith, and it doesn't have to just be one thing, but sometimes, especially when we're just starting this self-development, it can be a little bit easier if we just focus on one thing. Thank you so much for the hearts. That, by doing that will fill our entire being with divine light, and that is completely what is being said here. And then the opposite as well, that if you are focused on evil, and the word evil, like, I get kind of weirded out by that word. I know it's a very strong word, it can be very harsh, but the word evil is an umbrella. So you have to think that, like, even complaining, like, you can replace that with negativity, because even just like chronic complaining all the time, if you are chronically complaining, or you're around somebody that's chronically complaining, then that is going to fill your entire being. And, I know that I feel it when I'm around somebody who just can't stop with the negativity. That's drawn to you. That's drawn to you. And that's what's going to be, attracted to you if that's what you're focused on. So, it's just, you have to, yeah, it is dark. And like I said, using that word evil, I know a lot of people can get weirded out by that word sometimes, but it's negativity in general, so, I mean, we've all had this situation happen to us, I'm sure, that you're in such a great mood and, you feel like everything's going great, and then you talk to one person, that Debbie Downer, we all have one in our life, unfortunately, and they can just completely suck the happiness right out of you, and those people in our lives that are those Debbie Downers, those are the people that we need to be praying for. And not so we can get something in return from it, but we need to give them energetically as much light as we possibly can. So that's our job in, being light workers and making sure that our entire being is full of light all the time, and not allowing this darkness, the negativity and the evil things to creep in. Because even distractions, distractions are a form of evil. And, especially too, absolutely, we have to send them love and light, and they, energetically will, hopefully will absorb that. And if they're not ready to accept it, that's okay, because that's their journey, and I think that too can be one of the hardest things that we need to remember. As light workers, a lot of times we're caregivers, we want to help people all the time, and just say to people, well, if you would just do this, it would be a lot easier. And they just refuse to do it. But that's their journey to learn, and that's their struggle, that's their cross to bear, and that's okay. It just might not be the time for them to move on from that. Maybe they just didn't learn their lesson yet. And it's also, a good time for us to learn patience. So try to maybe keep that in mind. Yeah, absolutely. Alan, that's a great point. So, trying to raise their vibration, but shielding ourselves as well. Absolutely. So with that, I know I talk a lot about crystals as well, but if anybody is, thinking that that's something that they need to do to shield themselves from negativity, I would really recommend some black tourmaline, either wearing some or carrying some around. I always carry black tourmaline in my car and in my purse all the time, because it is a great, it's a great shield from negativity, and, just being able to, the tourmaline will absorb that negativity and turn that into positivity. So another little tip, if you're in any situations like this, where you do need to shield yourself. But yes, absolutely, thank you for that. So like I was saying, that this verse, really just is a reminder, that, whatever we're focusing on, that is what is going to absorb our entire being. And I think that this verse specifically is really great for people who are maybe struggling with depression or anxiety, addiction, even, like criminal behavior, that type of negativity. And also the black cloud syndrome, when you feel like you just are always having this black cloud around you, and you just can't seem to get away from it. Just reminding yourself that whatever you are focusing on, that is what your being is going to be full of. So if you are focusing on, and I know when you're struggling with these really these more intense feelings, like depression and anxiety, addiction, absolutely. When you're struggling with these things, it can be very difficult to focus on the positive. But just remembering that you want to fill yourself with divine light, and by doing your best to, whether it's, focusing on your own, self-worth or personal development or the word, whatever it may be, that, taking the time to pinpoint something that you can focus that positivity on will allow that divine light to come into you. Okay? All right, so the next one, I have two other ones. All right, so staying in the book of Matthew, we're going to go to Matthew 7:18. And this, it's written in just black and white, and it's, so Matthew 7:18 says, "A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit." So, I mean, there it is, right there, So if you are focused on negativity, you can't bring positivity into your life. And the same thing goes, if you're focused on positivity, you can't bring negativity into your life, So you can't be thinking about something that you really love and feel negative, right? It doesn't work that way. So this too, it all comes back to the law of attraction, that, whatever you're feeling, now the law of attraction says that like attracts like. Thoughts become things. But I really like the definition, and I don't remember who I heard this from, but that emotions become things, right? So you can think whatever you want all day long. That's great, but it's really the emotion and the feeling that you're having behind it that is what is going to attract that to you. So the more intense the feeling, the quicker and more intense the attraction. Okay, so it's as simple as that, in black and white. Negative is going to equal negative, and positive is going to equal positive. There it is. Okay, so the last one we have here, and this one I really like too. Okay, so this is from Matthew 7:26. Okay, Matthew 7:26. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them not, shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon the sand. Okay, so what does that say? That says that if you are hearing and reading the word, and you are this, I think this goes even beyond that. If you are practicing self-development and you are on YouTube and you're reading all these great things, you're watching all these great videos, but you're not following through with anything, then that is just self-sabotage. You're just sinking yourself. So what is the point of having this? What is the point of watching all these, webinars and videos and reading all this content and reading all these books to help yourself if you're not going to use it? So actions speak louder than words, right? I mean, words can be very powerful, but it's the actions. Okay, so it's what you're doing with this content. It's what you're doing with what you've learned, right? And so it will be easier too for you to shine your light if you are taking this information, learning something from it, applying it in your life, seeing results, and then passing that positivity onto other people. Because by helping yourself, you will be able to help other people better, and you will also be able to better explain what you've learned and try to help other people through what you've learned, right? So I think that, and I know that I've done this myself, too, that you spend all this time absorbing all this information, and you want to learn all this stuff. That's how I can get. I'm a learner. I want to know everything. I want to read everything. And then, 3 months go by and something happens and you're like, oh yeah, I think that's what I saw in that webinar that time. That's like the same thing. And then you start connecting it, right? But so the hard part is, and sometimes I know I can get into like information overload sometimes, so I have to like watch that myself. But just being mindful that take this information and apply it in your life. And the more that you apply this information, the more results you will see, And by doing that, you are using the law of attraction, and you will see it manifesting in your life. Absolutely you will. Okay? So let me just see your, yeah, absolutely. And, and I don't know, like I said, I was really divinely called to talk about this, like last night and today. And you don't have to be a Catholic or a Christian, or know the Bible back to back, or be reading the Bible, to apply these things in your life. So that's why, I try to give different kinds of examples, because I know the Bible's not for everybody. And that's okay. That's your journey. This is mine. And I hope to be able to give you different kinds of examples from things that I have learned from the Bible that I know can be applied in many different ways. Okay? But the gist of all of this is to live your life full of love, and live your life full of faith, whatever that faith may be for you. Okay? And by doing that and focusing on the things that can be really helpful to you, then that will allow the divine light to come into your entire being and to really allow you to see abundance and what you have been praying for and wanting for in your life to be manifested. Okay? So I just wanted to thank you guys so much. A little bit different from what I usually talk about, but like I said, when you're being told by the universe that you need to talk to people about something, I really feel like you just have to trust your intuition and get out there and talk about it. Okay? Oh, you're very, very welcome. I like to just remind you guys that I'm usually on here during the week doing live streams and stuff like that, and I have some other stuff going on during the week on certain days. You can check that out on my Facebook page, The Spiritual Safe House. But if going through this spiritual schedule with me during the week just isn't enough, and you want to dive a little bit deeper into your spirituality, whatever that might mean, be for you, and you want to, really reach that spiritual enlightenment that you want in your life, I do have a 12-week program. It's a spiritual development program. We work on different things each week, and we have an hour talk each week, and then I'll give you guys homework. We'll kind of talk about that the next week. So if that's something that you're interested in, and you, like I said, you want to dive a little bit deeper into, your spirituality, let me know. You can, PM me at The Spiritual Safe House on Facebook, or you can check out my website at thespiritualsafehouse.com. All right, guys. So I will talk to you guys later. All right. Let me know how things are going for you. All right. And thank you guys very much for attending. Bye.